be enough out, man.
Afraid we'd get caught.
It's not. Come on the front, I'll take it.
What you're about to hear is not actually occurring. It is an improvisational episode, spouted from the minds of two buffoons, bamboozled by the complications of everyday life. Please have mercy on them.
Another week with the Boxcar buddies in your life. It's Donnie and Greg. We're here to stay as we break into this 7-Eleven that has a bunch of open hot dogs that I'm probably gonna put all on my fingers and then eat them like lady fingers, but they're hot dogs on my hand. There is no rhyming scheme here, but it's okay, 'cause I want this iced tea. You want some?
Yeah, I'd love some. Thank you. Thirsty. Thirsty on that. Oh, over there. Let's just... Yeah! Gargling it. Dousing the self in it. Oh, that feels good. Ooh. Rinsing it. Spittle. There we go. That feels good. That feels nice.
I like to use brisk as like... What are the things that people in houses use? Like, when they gargle, it's blue.
Oh,
makes your breath smell good.
Windex.
Yeah, Windex.
Yeah, that's right. People
it's like
gargle
Windex,
that, right?
but, you know, I just use iced tea.
Yeah, me too. And I really like brisk. I like the color of the cans, and I like the sugar level in the drink. It's still really refreshing, but not like soda where it dries out everything afterward, you know?
I like the graffiti signs on it, and I like that Eminem doesn't call me a bitch when I drink it.
Yeah, I like that too. And I like that it reminds me of Celebrity Deathmatch from back in the day. I think it's because their commercials did the claymation or something, and it was similar.
Yeah, it was the same thing, because like I remember the Eminem one. It was like, all this pores of drinking this walrus flesh. Here I'm coming with this porous of brisk.
Yeah, that's Eminem. Speaking of that, dude dropped a new album last week.
Yeah, it's all diss tracks.
Yeah,
and nothing more.
Not really, not very good either. None of the songs are very catchy.
It's two bad albums back to back.
He's just bitter. Now he's just
mad because there are all these other rappers that are doing better than him.
Well, it's hard. It's like, I mean, again, I know we've talked about this, Greg, but it's like when someone reaches sort of like achieves a certain level of, you know, like attainment or whatever in any field, right? Like any content creator, once they're known so well and they're undisputedly like the best at a certain point, how hungry are you after that? You know, like how much can you really create compelling content because you're not up and coming anymore? You are on the top, you know? And so for a guy like Eminem, it's like this for him, it seems like, you know, he needs that struggle. He needs people to fight against. That was kind of his motivation. And
he should give up all of his money.
Yeah.
Hey, Eminem, I got a suggestion.
Start from the bottom, bro.
Yeah. You know how to get your whole audience back? Become a poor white guy.
Yeah. Give your money away.
Because then there's way more to, you know, like, identify with.
Absolutely.
Like, yes, I am also a poor white man.
Rap about it.
I want to hear that.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear about the rich white man. There's too many of them.
Do another album about your mom again. That was fun.
Yeah, just dig up your mom's corpse and then just be like, "Oh, I'm applauding your death as you reach for breath in Satan's closing arms."
There you go. Perfect. See, that's already better than Kamikaze. I think that right there is just a little more compelling. But anyway, sorry for the tangent. We're back again. Hi. We're the Boxcar Buddies.
Hey.
I am Don.
I am Greg.
And we are thrilled you've decided to join us once again here in our Boxcar in the city of Chicago.
Well, this 7-Eleven.
Yes, this 7-Eleven currently. Our the Boxcar that we had set up for this week was actually taken by somebody else. There's been like a group of 3 guys that have been they've taken notice of Greg and I taking Boxcars, and they are also homeless. It's Jim, Tim, and Slim, I think, if I'm not mistaken, if that's what they go by.
Oh, oh, the Zim family.
The Zim family, yes. Shortened from Zimmerman. They just now go by the Zims. They've been watching us borrow the boxcars that we do week to week so that Greg and I can chat about content we've consumed. And this is the first time that they spotted our targeted boxcar for this week, and they kind of sniped it out from under us. They took it. They knew that's what we were going for. They may be recording something right now. I don't know what their plan is to use it for.
Oh, good to see that we already have rip-off artists following us.
I know. I was like...
What are they going to call themselves? The train car travelers?
Maybe. But, I'm surprised that they even have, equipment.
My brother, and me in a boxcar?
Help! Something along those lines. But anyway, so Greg and I, once we went this morning, when Greg and I went to the lot to make off with it, it was already gone. There was just a little a dry boxcar shaped space on the ground, and now we had to go to the 7-Eleven nearby. But luckily, our man Ahmed over there, he decided to let us in. He let us some brisk. He let us chug 2 cans of brisk,
and he let us wrap a bunch of ropes around him. But shh. That's his fetish.
Thanks again, Ahmed. Yeah, you look happy, don't you? Yeah, buddy. Okay. No, thank you. Thank you very much. This is much appreciated. Yeah, once we're done. Anyway, though, so what Greg and I like to do, though, is, in case this is your first time joining us, we like to meet up once a week and talk about different content that we have consumed, whether that might be video games, music, movies, books, TV shows, streaming content on the internet, or something like Netflix.
Anything to distract the mind from the horrors of reality.
Of which there are many, including rain, which has been coming down around Chicago for the last few days or so. Torrential, downpours, fat raindrops, just lots of water.
Fat drops.
Fatty drops. They just have no shame about just dropping on your head, and you can feel that weight. You know when they talk about dropping a penny off a skyscraper and it can just drive somebody into the ground?
Some of the drops are into it, too.
Yeah.
Sometimes the drops will hit me here, and I'll hear a little
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know
why. I was standing underneath this apartment that had all their windows open. And I just heard a lot of
whoa.
I was like, I don't know what that is. It must be someone shaking a bottle really fast. But then the rain started coming, and then all I heard was.
Do you think?
And then sure enough, I get hit right on the top of my head with a bunch of water pellets.
Droplets. Now, do you think that grunt was a pain grunt or a pleasure grunt?
I think a little of both.
Yeah. Okay.
Like he was embarrassed.
Oh, but maybe they get off on being embarrassed, cucked.
Yeah,
cuckold raindrops, something like that.
I don't think it would be cuckoldry.
No,
I think it's exhibition,
humiliation.
Kind of a thing. I think that's it.
Yeah, okay.
Unless he's rubbing his dick up against a cactus,
a raindrop dick, a tiny little
rainbow drip.
I want
a raindrop drip, a rain dick drop.
I like a rainbow drip. That sounds interesting. I bet we could ask.
Yeah, but I don't know why. But it just showered right on top of my head. But then the rain was all of a sudden just gone.
Yeah, that's how it goes here. I know that the joke that normal people say is kind of if you don't like the weather in Chicago, wait an hour, and that's kind of how it's been. It's like a rain shower every hour here, and then sunlight. But that's what Greg and I have been dealing with, and right now we're just kind of dealing with this lack of a boxcar. But we're in a convenience store, and it does feel convenient. There's all kinds of snacks.
It sure does. There are hot dogs and taquitos.
Oh yeah, and how about this slice of pizza right in this little thingy right here, on display for us to just.
I know.
Ooh, boy, that's hot.
You might put it in your mouth so it will stay cold.
Oh God, oh my tongue. Oh, that's so good.
Here, this is the best part about having metal fingers. You put the metal hand through the hot dog glass.
Oh my God, yeah.
And then you just stick your fingers into the hot dog.
Look at that. You got 5 hot dog fingers. Be careful of that one, though. There's still some broken glass shards in the one on your ring finger. Gotta shake that out.
You like that?
Ooh. Okay. Any Band-Aids here, Ahmed?
Oh, I didn't know that this was filled with ketchup.
Yeah. Well, that's,
it's tinny.
Yeah, it's tinny.
It's really tinny.
That's blood. You want to shake out the glass before you eat the rest of those. Thank you. Aisle 5. Thank you very much, Ahmed. Here you go, buddy. Here's a little some Band-Aids for you.
just want to go home to my mom.
Yeah, no, I said we would work out the payment afterward. But
Come on, your mom, please.
no, we're gonna. Yeah, I've disabled all the cameras. But anyway, listen, everything's just chill out back there. It's air conditioned in here. It's
Yeah,
humid
man,
outside.
I'm glad that you could be a part of the Boxcar.
Exactly. No, man, we like you too. We'll be back. Don't worry. Anyway, though, for now, Greg, we got the next, 45 minutes here or so. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about is I've been playing a game this past week.
Oh yeah, what kind of game have you been playing?
Well, it's a platforming game that's been rebooted for all the current consoles. It came out originally in the 90s for PlayStation.
Is it Castlevania?
It is not Castlevania.
Is it?
It does start with a C, though.
Oh, is it Croc?
It's not Croc.
Oh,
But CR is you're getting closer. It is a trilogy.
is it Croc 2: Rise of the Gobos?
No Croc game. Crash Bandicoot
You mean the Insane Trilogy?
That's the one. Yeah,
Goodness.
It was just re-released or rather, it was just released on Xbox, PlayStation 4, I believe the Nintendo Switch.
Well, it came out for PS4 last year, and now it's on everything else this year.
That's right. It was originally released, updated, because it was a PlayStation game originally, so it came out for the updated console last year, and then they just released it this summer in July of 2018, I believe, for Xbox, for the PC, I'm imagining, and then the Nintendo Switch. So I've been playing it on the Xbox because I went over to Scummy's, and that's what system I prefer to play on when I'm over at his place.
I mean, considering he has everything, I don't know why he keeps buying like old game systems.
I know. He's got
a fucking Dreamcast.
He's got a Dreamcast.
Who plays on a Dreamcast?
I know. He's got a Sega Saturn. You know that? He's got a Sega Saturn. Like,
Very
what in
few
the world?
What are you gonna play? Fucking Lost Vikings?
Yeah, like, I don't even know what he would play
Sonic
on that.
3D?
I haven't even looked at what game options
Panzer
he has.
Dragoon?
Yeah, I'm always like, Scummy, what are you doing with the Sega Saturn? He's like, yeah, well, I like the look of it, don't I? It's sitting over there on top of my table. I like the aesthetic it provides for my apartment. How about you fuck off, mate? You want to come over here or not? I was like, you know how he gets. Anytime you talk about like his decorations,
He gets all cockney and he's like, "Oh, I'm mad all the time."
yeah, he's like, oh,
I've never
happy.
seen bright sunny weather outside my grown-up place before.
It's because I just masturbate on my plants.
One time I recreated a bell sprout and I put my dick in it.
He still has
That's
that bell
nature's
sprout.
fleshlight right there.
Good point. He does still have that recreated bell sprout, and it does look like
It's very sad looking.
It's despicable in the corner there. But so anyway, he has the Sega Saturn and all that. And I went over there last week just because he said he needed to feed all of his plants quickly for his most recent experiment, and he couldn't do it by himself. So he asked me to come over so we could feed the plants at the same time, and then he was like, yeah, you can play a game or something, you can just hang out if you like. And I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, that'd be fine. So I did that, and I decided he had just gotten the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy on the Xbox, and that's what I was playing. So the Insane Trilogy being Crash Bandicoot 1, 2, Cortex Strikes Back, and then 3, Crash Bandicoot Warped. And, I've spent time playing all 3 of the games. It was a nice stroll down memory lane because I played these games when they were on the original PlayStation and when they first came out, and it was a lot of Crash Bandicoot is a game series that I played extensively, like as a kid. So,
Same.
So when this came out, even for the PlayStation last year, and then especially when they announced it was coming out for the Xbox and everything else, I was very excited. And yeah, we got a little thunder outside. Got a little rain out there. Looks grim, which is why we're glad to have some shelter as usual. But yeah, you don't like the rain either, do you, Ahmed? Yeah,
he's like a scared puppy. Look at him shaking.
Stop putting your finger gun at me.
Yeah, you should put the finger gun down.
I'm just pointing to say you're scared, right?
Yeah. And come on, dude. He's got the hot dogs on the other 3. He's not going to shoot.
All right,
with
you know
the hot
what?
dogs
Here,
on his
why don't
fingers.
you talk to the audience a little bit about the game, and
Sure.
I take our buddy here in the
There
back.
you go. Good idea. See ya, Ahmed. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I really the port the updated and upgraded version of Crash Bandicoot. They're all great. The graphics are wonderful. It's so much fun to go back, but they didn't change the interface. They didn't change any of the style of the game and the controls. So it's very much just like playing the old Bandicoot game. You can use the directional pad to move around, or you can use the joystick. Still very, very difficult at
Stop kicking me, you little shit!
You're all right. You got it, Greg. It's really, it's Crash Bandicoot 1 especially. As I went through and I played these games, I was reminded how hard Crash Bandicoot 1 truly is. Like, it's just the platforming and the jump. I mean, it's like the old school video game grade of hard. Like, it's for no good reason. It's not, I was playing it and I really didn't get past like the second tier of worlds that you're going to.
Sorry, what were you talking about?
Oh, that's okay. I was just talking about how difficult Crash Bandicoot 1 is.
Crash Bandicoot 1 is hard for no good reason.
It's hard for no reason. It's just, it's the platformers.
Well, actually, no. I think the correct term is it's hard for a reason because back then you could probably only get your hands on like one video game, and that's like the only video game you'll have for like a year.
Totally. Yeah, exactly. It's not like now where they come out with like 15 games like a year,
and they're all the same price.
Yeah.
It's not. They don't have inflated prices.
Right. Exactly.
Like you're not looking at Mega Man X2, which is like, oh, why is this $60? But the first Mega Man X game is only $30.
Right. Exactly.
What is happening?
It's all the same. It's all the same way. But it's been and then conversely, I believe Warped is the easier of the three games.
Mm-hmm.
It's very but Warped is also my favorite. It's not just because of it being easier, but I really like the different gimmicks that they do. In each portal, there's five worlds that you go into, each one having 5 levels in it. And the way that they break up the monotony of kind of the platforming of Crash, the different styles of levels that you end up doing. Obviously, the underwater levels are really difficult and annoying, but then there's ones where you're flying a plane, you're riding a dinosaur, or you're running away from a dinosaur. There's just a lot of different environments and levels and gimmicks that they use for you to jump around as Crash that I found to be very, very entertaining,
I'm actually the opposite with that because I think 2 is my favorite game of the trilogy because when I play a platformer, I just want solid, good-ass platforming. And there's so much variety with Crash 2's levels because you have the swamp levels where you get to ride a jet ski.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes. And even without the jet ski, there's also jumps of where you have to jump on boxes already in the water to get to secret levels and shit.
Yep.
There is a lot of variety in Crash 2. It's just that it's always platforming as opposed to, all right, here, the variety this time is you're in a fucking plane that plays like ass.
It's not a great plane.
You're on a motorcycle that plays like ass.
The motorcycle ones are really, really hard. I do
the
like
underwater levels that play like ass.
Yeah, those are all really hard. I do like the tiger riding ones.
The
with
tiger
Coco.
I actually like more than the polar bear.
Yeah, the tiger is awesome. The Coco, there's like 2, maybe 2 levels I think in Warped where Coco rides a tiger like along the Great Wall of China, and those are very entertaining. And another thing that's a fair point though about that, Greg. Crash 2 Cortex Strikes Back is more focused on the platforming itself, and I do like those swamp levels. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, those are really, really fun too. Warped, I think another reason I do like Warped more is also because every boss you defeat as you move through the worlds, you defeat a boss and you are given an ability. At the end of World 1 you get the double jump or the body slam. At the end of World 2 you get a double jump, and then you get an extended spin, and then
that acts like a glide.
Yes, and then a fruit gun, and then you can run faster after the 5th world is done. And so anyway, when you have accumulated all of these abilities and you go back to the earlier levels in order to get like the bonus gems, or you go in down different pathways and stuff, I had a lot of fun going back and with these new abilities like the fruit gun and running faster, especially for time trials with like running faster, it made it more fun, and it allowed you to like go back to an early level that you might have struggled with, and then you just breeze through it with ease because you've got all these new abilities. So I liked the upgrading, like the upward journey of Warped, I think.
Yeah. I will say that Warped definitely has the best boss fights of the games too, because Crash 2's boss fights are bad.
Yeah.
The Komodo brothers fucking suck.
Yes.
You don't have to do anything. And
Nothing
the
at
final
all.
boss fight against Cortex is terrible. But in terms of, like, recreated, Insane Trilogy is amazing.
Yes.
One thing I noticed I still don't like, I don't know if it's been updated because I haven't touched the game since it first came out, and I haven't touched it on any other system. I remember going, because I went through all three. I only 100%ed 2 and 3 because 1 requires you to do the time relic challenges.
Right.
Crash 1 wasn't meant for speed running.
Not
Crash
at all.
moves too slow and he's too heavy for
Yes.
speed running.
Yes.
So I didn't do that, but I was noticing while I was going through the game, it seems like Crash's hitbox is rounded. Because there are times where I would jump in place on a box, but he would slide off them.
Oh.
After a while.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, the boxes that you're
And
bouncing on top of
yeah,
in order to get all
like-
the Wumpas and
like
stuff?
Trampoline boxes.
Yes.
I especially noticed this with the bridge levels.
Because
the bridge levels are like the notoriously super hard levels of
of
Crash 1 next to ascending Cortex's tower.
Yes, the Stormy Ascent.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I remember, like, I hit the platforms, but all of a sudden I would just slide off because I wasn't perfectly standing on it.
Yes, that I will. I haven't come across that much, but I have come across it. I didn't think of it until you brought it up just now, but that has happened with me on the Xbox too. So I don't, I don't know if it doesn't seem like they've updated it and it translated to the other systems as well because and also, it like when you're jumping on the trampoline boxes, like, yes, you're doing it to either get all the Wumpas out of it or to reach another location.
Yeah, because there's a lot of locations in one where you need to use the trampoline box in order to ascend, like, a tower.
Yes, exactly. And if you, I did think of that too. It's if you don't land perfectly on the thing, instead of like bouncing
Standing
at
there
a different
or just
angle,
being there at like the corner of the ledge that you land on,
right?
You just fall off
of it. And it's frustrating because, again, Crash Bandicoot movement-wise is frustrating as it is. Like, it's just, how many times have you died because of, just being, jumping slightly too far over the trampoline box or not, timing something right in terms of moving platforms and everything. It's a platformer game. Your movement is exactly how you advance throughout it. And when something like that with the mechanics where you slide off the edge of a box because you misjudge the distance slightly, it's very frustrating. But either way, though, those are like, small concerns. If you played Crash Bandicoot, any of the games when they originally came out growing up like we did, you will
not to like.
Love this.
I mean, let's be real, the remake of Crash 1 for the Insane Trilogy should be the only way you play the game now.
Yeah.
Because
you're not going back to the PlayStation side.
I can go back to the PlayStation, play Crash 2 and Crash 3, but I think that's because, like, nostalgic reasons.
Yes.
Like, Crash 2 was the first PlayStation game I got next to Spyro.
Oh, Spyro, another one coming out for the reboot.
Yeah, that's coming out in November.
Yeah,
It's back.
Very excited about that one, too.
I'm super excited for that one, too. I'm not concerned about controls in that game, though, because Spyro always handled a little floaty.
Yes.
But plus, his levels are so big, you don't need 100% precise platforming prowess to beat it. Whereas Crash, you need that with a lot of levels.
Yeah, you really, exactly. Spyro's more forgiving in terms of the movement that way. Crash is not. But just back to it, the Insane Trilogy, released now on all consoles. If you like Crash Bandicoot, or even if you're looking to give it a try for the first time, highly worth it. Great platforming game, easy and fun. Like, the story is super simple. It's very, very kid friendly and stuff, and it's just some good cartoony platforming. So definitely check it out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I want to tell you about something that I've been up to.
Really?
Yeah, so that bar called the Abbey?
Yes.
That's in Avondale?
Mm-hmm.
So it turns out that they had this big wrestling event going on.
Okay.
So, local wrestlers were just showing up to this place.
Cool.
And I was like, that sounds so interesting. I heard of a wrestler before once. Like, a really cool wrestler.
Uh-huh.
He calls himself the killer whale.
The killer whale. Okay.
He is the only one-armed wrestler in the league.
Wow.
I know. That's
crazy.
It's crazy.
A one-armed wrestler?
And I was like, that's like me.
Yeah, it is.
So I was like, all right, is he going to be there? I'm going to show up.
Yeah.
And sure enough.
He was there?
He was there.
No way.
Yeah.
Does he wear like a lucha
He wears a
mask?
lucha libre mask,
Whoa.
and you can tell it's him because of his one arm and his sharp teeth.
Cool. Wow, dude.
I know.
Killer whale. I love it.
Killer whale. So I was watching this wrestling event. It was so cool. Like, Killer is just like butt pounding everybody, just jumping on top of them, doing eagle dives, doing whale breaches.
Sure.
He'd call his uppercuts whale breaches. He would jump up in the air and go, whale breach!
Love it.
Yeah.
Did he bite anybody?
He did. A couple guys.
Wow.
Bit them down real hard.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like, and one of them had like a ring on their hand once, so he just bit down on their hand just to prove dominance. And he bit the ring off and he put it in his teeth.
Damn. Now he's got a tooth ring?
He's got a tooth ring, I think.
This guy is cool, man.
He sounds amazing. So
Yeah.
I had to go backstage and meet him. And there's just press everywhere.
I bet.
Everywhere. Just all over this guy. Like, look at this killer whale.
Keep camera flashes going off.
And there are ESPN announcers like, Killer, tell us about your killer win. And he'd be like, the killer whale has once again risen to the top as everyone else has sunk to the bottom of the ocean.
Does he do that? Does he do a lot of like ocean puns and stuff like that?
Yeah, he does. He
Nice.
says a lot about like breaching.
Oh, that's cool.
I've
Okay.
breached my way into this conference. The killer whale wants to meet his fans.
And he refers to himself in the third person?
He always refers to himself in the third person.
That's endearing.
Yeah, I feel like as soon as he puts on the mask,
Yeah, that's the
who
persona.
he is. It's who he will always be.
Love those guys, man.
But anyway, I snuck in backstage and I pretended to be a reporter.
Cool. Do you have like a little notepad and stuff?
No, I just kept like lighting my laser gun finger.
Oh.
It was like, and it made it look like a flash.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a good
I think
way
I
of doing
killed
it.
a journalist.
Ooh, that's not good.
No one noticed.
From
I
this-
mean, like everyone was in that room, like killer, yeah.
right.
Just bolting down doors. They were tearing open the fucking bathroom, like killer,
Right. Nobody
throwing
probably
urinals all over the place. Killer whale won again.
People love this local wrestling
Jumping up
stuff.
on the chandelier. The killer whale is stricken again.
Come on! Yeah. Nobody would have noticed until the janitor just sweeping that area at the end of the night, and he just pokes at the body, and it doesn't move, and it's like, oh, shoot.
I mean, I
Another
haven't heard
journalist.
anything in the news yet. So
No,
they,
me neither.
They might have tried to flush him.
That journalist might have been who would have published a story about a dead body at a local wrestling
I know.
event.
And you know what? I saved the killer. I
Yeah.
saved him. But anyway, I was like, hey, killer, you seem like a cool guy. You know what? How about we go back to one of my pads?
Sure.
And let's go hang out for a bit.
Nice. Which pad were you offering?
Oh,
up?
I was taking
What
him
was
back
that
to
name?
the free clinic.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Because you're still kind of posted up in the basement down there, right?
Yeah. So I took him into the basement, and luckily, Freak had finally set up a computer down there.
Nice.
So I get on, and I was like, you know what? Killer. Me and you, Killer, in this basement. He's like, yes. Killer Whale is here with his new friend Greg.
In this basement.
In this basement. This dark, cold basement inside a free clinic. The
Killer
Killer
Whale
Whale likes this.
Exists subterraneanly.
The Killer Whale likes being below sea level. This is adequate for the Killer Whale.
It's good.
In any case, I was like, Killer, have you ever heard of a video game series called Guacamelee?
Guacamelee.
Yes.
Sounds tasty.
Guacamelee, I think, is the first indie game that I had really, really gotten into. It came out in 2013, and it's about a man named Juan who is killed by this ghostly presence named Calaca, who is trying to combine the worlds of the living and the dead into one.
Yikes.
He kidnaps Juan's not girlfriend, but they obviously have a thing for each other.
Sure.
She's also El Presidente's daughter.
Oh.
And when Juan lands in the land of the dead, he meets the guardian mask spirit Tostada,
Tostada.
and she gives him a magic luchador mask that turns him into a powerful luchador.
Whoa.
And it's a Metroidvania game
Okay.
where you play a luchador, you go through sprawling levels to find treasure and shit, all while trying to defeat all of Calaca's side henchman shits.
Yeah.
And then beat the shit out of Calaca and save the world.
This sounds like it'd be right up Killer Whale's alley.
It is. I love the first Guacamelee, so when I found out that Guacamelee 2 was hitting out soon, I was like, I gotta play this.
Gotta be on this.
And here's the great thing about the Guacamelee series. It's multiplayer.
Really?
It's a multiplayer action fighting game, Metroidvania.
Wow.
And I remember the original PS3 Steam version of Guacamelee. I think it was also on Xbox Store too at first. You can only do 2-player. You play as Juan or Tostada. They had the same exact moveset. But then when they re-released it on modern consoles, it was given 4-player.
Oh.
So starting right out the gate with Guacamelee 2, you can immediately start with 4 players.
Yeah.
And it's just a great, goofy, fun time when you have multiple people at once trying to wrestle and grapple everything you come into contact with.
Yeah, like a big Royal Rumble.
Yeah. So Guacamelee 2 takes place 7 years after the original Guacamelee. So
Are Juan and the lady like married?
they
now
are
with
married
kids?
and they have 2 kids.
Cool.
Juan is now a fatty.
Fatty Juan.
Fatty Juan, and he still wears his luchador belt,
Oh,
even though you could
adorable.
see his paunch sticking out of the belt.
Still
which is,
squeezing him a little around the
it's
middle.
squeezing him a little bit.
But it's, sentimental value.
well, in any case, Juan is out getting avocados for his family, and they're just hanging out, having a good old time, when his former trainer shows up apparently from a different universe.
Whoa.
Says that, Juan, we need you.
You are needed.
You are the only Juan left.
You are the chosen Juan.
in all of the Mexiverse.
Whoa.
So, your trainer is taking you now to the darkest timeline where Juan did not win and everything turned to shit.
Oh, no.
And in this storyline, Juan was killed. His girlfriend was killed. Calaca won, but then a new luchador with a different mask appeared named Salvador. And Salvador beat the shit out of him, but Salvador's not a good person. So the world is in complete shit.
Yikes.
He is on a duty to get the sacred guacamole.
Uh-huh.
But it is not meant for mortal hands. It's only meant for this very powerful Aztec god. And if you cannot get all 3 chips in order to enter his secret lair to eat the guacamole, it could break the very fabric of the Mexiverse.
Damn, the Mexiverse.
So Juan is transported into the darkest timeline. There are a million different versions of his trainer.
Okay.
He meets that world's Tostada, who is still guardian of the mask because the mask is still around because Juan's dead. And they have to team up together once again to defeat Salvador and save the Mexiverse. Guacamelee's always been like, I guess meme heavy is the word. Because they like to do references a lot. The first game was riddled with meme humor.
Gotcha.
It had like 2012 like memes, like the owl, like, oh really? Yeah, really.
Wow.
Paintings everywhere.
No
and there's
kidding.
a shit ton of video game references.
Okay.
They cut down on the memes, but they did not cut out the references. Like the first thing you see when you go into your town, there are posters for like Steven Universe, but they're luchadors. Black Panther is El Pantera.
Nice.
There's a fighting poster for El Hombre versus El Esqueleto.
Oh, the escalator?
Yeah,
The
no,
man versus
yes,
the escalator?
he fought an escalator, Don.
Hey, who knows who would win?
No, it's He-Man versus Skeletor.
Oh.
Yeah.
Escalito. Yeah, okay.
There's also a level in the game where you are transported to the Street Fighter timeline,
oh, okay.
and in order to leave the area, you have to beat up a car.
Yes, of course, that classic bonus minigame. I love it.
I think the humor is still a little, like, rough to get into, but what makes Guacamelee so good is its gameplay.
Yeah.
Juan feels so good to control. So you have normal combat abilities. You can just do a simple 3-punch combo. But then there's so many other layers. You have special abilities in the direction that you push the special button. So pushing special up, you do an uppercut. Just pushing the special button, you do a headbutt. Down special button, you do a belly flop. And forward special, you do like a dashing punch.
Oh, okay, fun.
So you mix and match all of these different abilities. There's a huge combo system where you get more and more money the higher your combo gets.
Nice.
And then grappling is thrown in.
Oh, wow.
If you beat the shit out of an enemy enough, you can hit the triangle button or the X button or whatever you're playing on. We played on PC, so we were using an Xbox controller.
Oh, okay.
So you use the top button, and you can grapple the enemies. And you could do 4 different kinds of grapples.
Nice.
So you can do a suplex, you can shoot them up into the air, you can boot them in front of you, and you can pile drive them into the ground.
Nice.
There's so many layers to the combat.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
It's always been so fun to control Juan. What I also liked about this game, too, is there's now a whole new fighting style as a chicken.
Oh, really?
One of the original abilities you got in the first game was you are cursed into the form of a chicken.
Uh-huh.
And you have to use the chicken form in order to get through some puzzle areas.
All right.
This time in the game, you're given the power to turn back into a chicken, but you can fight as the chicken this time.
Oh, wow.
So the chicken has its own different combos.
Oh, my gosh.
And different platforming abilities.
Yeah.
The game really, really likes to do, like, platforming challenges in front of you.
Okay.
You'll always come across, because it's a big sprawling map, like any Metroidvania game, when you go into some secret areas, it's a puzzle area where you have to use precise movements in order to get the item at the end of it. And they're always so satisfying to do.
Yeah.
None of them are, like, the early ones are very easy, but as you get later on, and if you're trying to go for the magic chicken key, for the chicken Illuminati,
Right.
they get fucking tough. There's specifically one world, one ability that you have is you can change between the land of the living and the dead.
Okay.
That changes everything around you.
Yeah.
So you can meet different people, but in the same towns.
Cool.
Also, some items can only appear in the land of the living, and
Right.
some can only appear in the land of the dead.
Right.
There's one secret mission to do towards the end of the game where the screen is scrolling by with these blocks that are in the land of the living or the dead, and it's in a volcano. So you have to try and stay in the land of the dead's world and move along with the brick, because if you go back into the land of the living's brick, you're in instant kill lava.
Whoa.
So you have to do precise, excellent fucking platform like inputs,
Yes.
in order to get through the level and get to the end of it.
Yeah.
And if you lose once, you have to start from the beginning.
Ooh.
It is tough.
Yeah, that sounds brutal.
But the fucking reward you get for solving the chicken Illuminati thing, in the chicken form, you have this double dash that lets you jump like 2 times in a row.
Yeah.
You get to jump infinitely when you do it, and it deletes all the challenge of the final level.
Oh my gosh.
So
yeah.
I wanted to make sure I got like complete 100% before I went for the final battle. And after I got the chicken power, it made the final dungeon a joke.
Really?
Because you're
man.
supposed to do precise platforming of like, all right, you have to jump through them here, and you have to use your action block here. Whereas I just turned to the chicken and just went,
Right.
zigzagged all the way
Infinite
up.
jumping, no problem at all. That's crazy.
As long as you have enough special meter, you can jump infinitely.
That's fantastic.
But chicken powers cost half the amount that normal special moves cost.
Oh man.
So you can do a lot of fucking infinite jumps.
Yeah, totally. Before you run out of that meter, yeah.
Me and Killer were just having a good time.
That sounds like a lot of fun, man. The
Yeah.
fighting alone, like, that sounds real. I mean, just with a combat game like that, running around and beating people, the variety that you have to choose from of those moves, I mean, that sounds like hours of fun.
Yeah, and not only that, the presentation, the music of Guacamelee has always been amazing. The visuals, though, I feel like have not changed whatsoever from the original game. I feel like a majority of the assets are very heavily recycled.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's too much of a problem because its core game is still so good.
Yeah.
And it was just much funner to play this game. It didn't take itself seriously at all because you're in your own darkest timeline.
Yeah, right.
And you have a million different versions of your trainer who has, like, different aspects to them.
Mm-hmm.
There's, like, collector trainer or Viking trainer.
Right. The little jokes, I'm sure, that like, come in through the game. Yeah.
And it's super funny that, like, when you do combos, you can keep building the combo. If you're able to get the max combo of 999, every single picture of your trainers pops up to be like, congratulations!
Oh my god.
They all just keep popping up from the side of the screen, because usually you have your trainers and whatnot jump in.
Yeah.
I also like in this game, too, that you don't have to buy your power-ups anymore.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, you do have to buy your power-ups, but how you buy them is you don't need to be in a fucking store anymore. You just go into your main menu, and then you can unlock these abilities.
Cool.
So
that's always a nice convenient change, as opposed to having to go to somewhere.
Yeah, making sure that you
boost.
can actually find a checkpoint
Right.
after, like, standing in a city where there's only one of them, going up to it, and then going, oh, I want to buy this.
Right, exactly.
So... I know, it's getting really stormy.
So dark. It just... I'm so sorry. I was just taking...
shit, the power's out now.
Yeah, it is really getting stormy out there.
Stop
but,
kicking things.
Come on. But anyway, Guacamelee 2? Was that the...
Guacamelee 2 from Drinkbox Studios. They make a lot of very, very good games, and me and Killa had a good time. I mean, he's just a cool dude.
Yeah.
Like
Two one-armed bros
he just makes
playing
me
a game.
smile
Yeah.
every time. Every time I think of him, I'm like,
That's... So there you go. There's the smile right there. And you know what's funny? It sounds like a brotherly relationship. You guys have the sharp teeth. You guys both got one arm. What did he think of your metal hand?
He thought it was amazing.
Yeah.
He was really
Into
really enamored by it.
I bet.
He
yeah.
didn't show me his hand. It was in a black glove.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we fist bumped.
Some mystery there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. But I
Cool.
mean, like, he smiled and that ring showed up. And
Oh, he still got the ring in there?
yeah,
Cool, man.
He showed that ring and
Very cool. Mm-hmm. Nice. So Guacamelee 2. Well, that's really cool.
yeah, it was a good time to spend with a new friend.
Good.
The Killer Whale.
The Killer Whale. Well, cool. I'm glad you guys had a fun time. That game sounds like a lot of fun.
It's a great time. So, yeah, I think that's it as far as content.
Definitely. But we have reached this point in the show where Greg and I go into our treasure trove of messages, courtesy of gmail.com. My God, is it storming out there?
It is terrifying out there.
Boy, it's really, we're really... There is we're in the midst of a little flood
storm.
warning and a severe thunderstorm warning for this area, so it's stormy out there. But you can give us warnings or weather warnings or friendly warnings, anything at all, or just suggestions or questions if you send it to gregslist@gmail.com. 3Gs, regslist@gmail.com.
Did you still want me to say this is still Billy Bobcat? Because we haven't said it since the first time.
No, you can say Billy Bobcat for this one, yeah.
So, our buddy Billy Bobcat is writing to us again.
Hey, from Morton Grove, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Billy, what's
from
up?
Mogro.
What's up, man?
So he's telling us about the Geisha of State Street.
The Geisha of State... The State Street Geisha, yeah, of course.
Yeah, so he says, what's up, gents? I heard a tale about a woman of the night that roamed State Street late at night looking for lonely souls. After a full week of wandering about, I encountered several aggressive men yelling to themselves. Have you ever encountered this fabled Chicago mistress? Sincerely, Billy Bobcat from Mogro. P.S. If a hooker named Cholula shows up during your next recording, you're welcome. That one's on me. Hide any cheeses you might... Is she deep into cheese?
What was her name? Cholula?
Cholula.
Yeah.
I thought it was like Chalupa.
So did I. That's what I was
Like a
thinking
number
of.
4 combo.
That's what when he said, like, if a hooker named Cholula, I thought he was talking about, like, a Taco Bell delivery guy. I was like, well, that would be awesome. Thanks, Billy Bob. But if a hooker shows up who likes cheese, I'm not imagining that would
I'm
be
not
a
afraid.
concern.
I've got hot dog fingers.
Yeah, you do. Those look tasty, and we're probably not going to be in the 7-Eleven next time, so there's, like, the likelihood of there being cheese around us is pretty slim. But.
Yeah, but I've never heard of this geisha.
The State Street Geisha, I actually have heard of this this woman. She is she's been around for, I think she's been rumored since like the 1970s. So she's like, you know, an elderly lady, shock white hair, usually wearing a red dress, and she just walks the stretch between what is it? She walks the stretch from like Chicago Avenue all the way down to like Jackson, all along State Street.
This sounds like some kind of like weird urban legend.
Well, she kind of is, because the thing is that she's been
No one's ever spotted her.
Listen,
She's the Bigfoot of Chicago.
kind of. She's never been arrested. She's a hooker for the last 50 years, walking right down the loop of Chicago, and she's like never been arrested. There is no like official police report about her. She is kind of like the Bigfoot or the Loch Ness monster, because pictures will pop up on like social media. Somebody will do like a selfie, and she's like walking behind them and stuff. And you know, but she is rumored to be like this angelic. If you can get her and get her services, she's supposed to be like this magical hooker. She might even grant you wishes or something.
Are you serious?
Yes, this is the urban legend of the State Street
She's
Geisha.
got like a pot of gold hiding in her dress or something?
Something like that, at least like a goldfish like in the bowl, you know, like she's like wandering around the street.
No, I think that's some kind of weird fetish thing that probably someone paid her to do.
Oh yeah, you're probably right. But yeah, she and the whole geisha thing is because once a year, supposedly, she walks the stretch with her face painted like a geisha.
Dang.
Yeah.
And I'm not just talking about the scary lightning outside.
No. I bet you that even tonight, like with the rain, I bet you she's supposed to be more easy to spot in the rain.
Yeah.
But yeah, Billy Bob, for your question, have heard of her, have never encountered her.
I'm off on a hunt then.
Yeah, Greg,
I'm gonna get me some corn nuts.
There you go.
I'm gonna get me... some Rolos?
she's-
They suck.
she-
They got tinfoil.
She supposedly really likes pizza-flavored combos, which we have in...
But I like the cheddar ones.
Well, get one of each. Get one for you and one for her.
What if I get 2 for me?
Well, you can do that.
And then I get this flypaper for me.
Uh-huh.
And this Pepto-Bismol.
You probably need it.
And this Reese's Pieces.
Those are very good.
And the Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
Would you grab me a York peppermint patty while you're over
York peppermint patty for me.
No, one for me too.
And one for me.
Okay. I'll just get my own.
Another
Thank you very
for
much.
me.
That's great.
And one for me.
No, I want it back.
And another for me.
Damn it. All right, I'm taking it. Billy Bob, thank you so much for submitting. Again, we really appreciate it. Love to Morton Grove and the State Street Geisha. She is the urban legend. I don't know if she may kill people. It's one of those things too, where it's like she might grant you wishes, or you may never be seen again. So if you're wandering State Street around 2 a.m. and you see a woman with shock white hair,
if you have a plan to die, then I hope you have some cash.
Yeah, exactly. If you see a woman with shock white hair and a face painted, I mean, I would turn the other way. That's
or
what
you
I
may
would
be at a Mummers Parade.
Mummers Parade.
Oh, those are a Philly thing.
I miss my mummer.
I mean, I miss my Hummer.
Don't we all?
Don't we all?
A nice Hummer, it really does pick you up.
Alright, you fuckers, this is what you get for locking me up!
Oh shit, Ahmed! No, come on, man! Ah! He's got a shotgun! Oh no! Oh my god!
Get out of my store!
Holy shit! Okay, thanks. All right, thanks so much. See ya. Oh my god, Greg, run! No, forget the combos. Let's go!
No, I need them.
Come on! Oh! Ah, my leg!
My hand!
Ow! Let's go!
Afraid we'd get caught.
Come out on the front, I'll take
We're gone.
Everything you just heard was not real, but a falsehood. A made-up trip through a phantasmagoric forest. Breathe.